He is shocking everyone. Huge win for the Mets last night, with a huge individual performance by one particular Mets player who's showing a ton of heart. And clutch performances and playing with heart will be much needed by the Mets these last 5 games. I am Adam Choit, your host for today here on Mets Digest. And before we dig in on all that, I just want to give you guys a quick heads up, a quick reminder to please subscribe, because as you can see, nearly 68% of you guys watching these videos are not subscribed. So please take a quick second to do that. It is appreciated for sure. Let's get into it. Huge win last night for the Mets. That win last night may have indeed actually saved the season, literally saved the season, with the Mets now 1 game ahead of the Reds for the final wild card in the standings. The Pirates did the Mets a favor last night and took care of the Reds. So, yeah, there you go, 9-7, a huge comeback win for the Mets last night. Biggest win of the season so far, certainly. A road win in Chicago. Alvarez, of course, coming up with the clutch game-winning home run. More on him, of course, momentarily. There you go. The Mets are now in control of their own destiny once again and have retaken the third and final NL wildcard spot. As you can see, a game ahead of the Reds. The Reds, of course, have the tiebreaker on the Mets, unfortunately. Here's Carlos Mendoza on Francisco Alvarez and his energy after his go-ahead homer for SNY. We need that energy. We felt it in the dugout. We all felt it in the dugout. He is special. That is for sure. You can see he's become one of the main inspirational leaders on this team. It's great to see. He's still so young, but he plays with youthful invigoration, youthful vigor, of course, but he definitely does have a leadership quality to him that you can just see just by the way he even handles the pitching staff. They definitely lean on him. They like throwing to him. Despite some of his maybe ups and downs over his early career in terms of his defense, but he's a hard worker, of course, more on his willingness to go down to AAA this year, just to refine his defensive skills, refine his hitting skills. That's what you want to see from a young player. That sort of humility goes a long way. This is Anthony DiComo, more from him momentarily. What a huge moment in his young career. Realistically, that feels like the moment we've been waiting for on Francisco Alvarez. Guts, glory, and playing hurt in massive games for the Mets. Yes, he's been playing with, you got broken fingers, hands, ligament, all kinds of issues. He's showing an incredible amount of toughness. Mets fans, Mets players, Mets management, I'm certainly sure that we are all surprised to some degree just to see this guy even on the field at all as this season continues in 2025, coming down the home stretch. That Alvarez is even an active player is a minor miracle. Barely 1 month ago, he landed on the injured list with a sprained UCL in his right thumb, which will require surgery after the season. It will be Alvarez's 3rd operation in less than 2 years. Almost immediately after doctors gave Alvarez permission to play through that injury, he broke his left pinky during a minor league rehab assignment. Then, on the Mets' last homestand, he took a 100-mile-an-hour fastball off his left elbow. At the moment of impact, Mendoza thought the catcher was done for the year. Alvarez returned to the lineup the next day. What a bad you-know-what is Alvarez. One tough dude. It's hard to judge and understand, fully comprehend what someone else's pain tolerance is. It's hard to compare and contrast pain tolerances, but he certainly has a far and away above average pain tolerance. That is certain. More on Alvarez here. It's all from Anthony DiComo, MLB.com. There's been a couple of times that he gets jammed on a foul ball, and you can see his face, Mendoza said. We're all feeling that pain for him too, but it goes away right away, and he looks back to normal. It's just pretty incredible. It's hard to describe. The guy's rock solid, man. Yeah, he's one tough dude, is Alvarez. Teammates describe Alvarez as one of the heart and soul pieces of this clubhouse. Despite his young age and relative inexperience, through 4 big league seasons, Alvarez has never quite established himself with any sort of consistency, due largely to the injuries that continue to affect him today. And yet maybe he's in the act of doing that just now. Maybe this was the moment he had been waiting for, too. That's Anthony DiComo from MLB.com, of course, talking about Alvarez's toughness, his potential also. He was and is a top prospect for the Mets, who rose up through the system pretty young. His bat was always something that we looked forward to seeing as he came up through the minors. And let's dig a little bit more into Alvarez here. of course, this is last night. The clutch home run, the biggest homer of the year so far for the Mets, the biggest swing of the Mets season so far, giving them the victory last night in Chicago. What a beautiful sight to see that was. Here's Steve Gelbs on Alvarez's toughness and willingness to work. Francisco Alvarez's response since his June demotion has been remarkable. Didn't sulk, went to work, and flipped his season completely. The turnaround alone is impressive, but battling through with 8 working fingers is another level. Massive, massive home run. Referring to last night's homer, of course. Jolly_Olive, Francisco Alvarez, since his midseason demotion, where along the way he fractured his pinky and tore a ligament in his thumb. 37 games, 110 ABs, as you can see, the 282 average, 9 doubles, 7 homers, and 19 RBIs. And what really tells the story, even beyond just those 12 walks and 20 runs, is that 930 OPS, which is elite. Definitely all-star level. We've definitely had the hope that Alvarez could turn into an all-star, and I would say he's projecting to be just that. Here are his stats so far in his career. Not quite all-star level, other than the bookend cup of coffee, with you see, of course, in 2025, 22 and 25, you can see those bookends with that identical 786 OPS. Of course, his cup of coffee was only 12 ABs when he first came up in 2022. But this year, in limited action, flashing that 786 OPS is quite nice. I really wonder what the ceiling is for this player. It might not be that 920 OPS that he's currently has on this hot streak, but I would project that it's going to be higher than 786. He has the skill and talent to be a consistent 800 OPS player, and from the catching position, that's huge. That would be quite something. Again, when guys like Alvarez are going and hitting, it certainly lengthens the Mets lineup a ton. But what do you guys think of Alvarez? What do you think he can project to be? Can he be an annual all-star? Will the Mets make the playoffs? Have they turned the corner? Even though it's just one night and we got 5 games left. Are you very nervous heading into the final games against the Cubs and the Marlins? I did see some rather dark tweets on posts on X mentioning that the Mets could do something like, they might win the series in Chicago and then collapse in Miami. That would be very Mets. Thinking more on the negative side, but let's stay positive. Let me know what you guys think below about the what will be the fate of the Mets season. What's Alvarez's ceiling as a player? Definitely like, subscribe, comment below, and let's go Mets.